Hello everyone, this is Anjali Tyagi and today I will explain the first part of the chapter Glimpses of India. The name of the part is A Baker from Goa of class 10th. So first of all, let's know about the author. Lucio Rodriguez, who was born in 1916 and died in 1973, was a great Konkani essayist. He wrote several articles in English and Konkani to various periodicals and magazines. He served as a visiting professor of folklore at many universities and also as a professor of English in Mumbai and Goa. His essays were posthumously published under the title of Soil and Soul and Konkani Folk Tales. Subtle humor and informal narration are the essential features of his writings. So, before starting the explanation of the chapter, let me explain you the meaning of some difficult words. Reminiscing nostalgically means thinking fondly of the past. Loaves, plural form of loaf, bread that is shaped and baked in a single piece and can be sliced for eating. Vanished, disappeared suddenly and completely. Molders, persons who molds dough in a shape. Furnaces, an enclosed structure in which materials can be heated to a very high temperature. Extinguished, cause a fire to cease to burn. Heralding, announcing. Pedder, word for baker in Portuguese language. The story takes us back to the time when Portuguese ruled Goa. They were immensely famous for their breads. The narrator often finds his elders thinking about those good old days and telling them that the famous breads date back to the time when Portuguese ruled over Goa. They ponder over the past and tell them that though the Portuguese have left Goa, but the bakers of bread still exist. If not, the original ones, their legacy is being continued by their sons. The bakers are still being referred to as peddlers. Everything about baking is still the same. The ranking from those who mold the bread loaves to the furnaces which have survived the ravages of time. The sound of their arrival and the thud of their bamboo stick can still be heard just like the olden times. The narrator recalls that the baker acted as their friend and companion during their childhood days in Goa. The baker used to visit twice a day. Once, while he was on the round to sell his loaves, and the other time, while returning back with his empty basket, having sold all the loaves. It was the sound of his bamboo stick that woke the children up. The children were so excited to meet him and chose from the bread bangles or konkan he made especially for them. While the bangles were for children, loaves were for adults that were generally collected by the maid servant of the household. Now, meaning of staff, that is a stick. Rebuke, an expression of disapproval or a scolding. Fragrance, a pleasant sweet smell. Parapet, railing or a low protective wall. Bangles here refers to the bread in the shape of a bangle called konkan. The baker often made a musical entry with his bamboo stick. His one hand supported the basket on his head while the other banged on the bamboo on the ground. He would go house to house and greet the ladies before handing them over the loaves. The parents would scold the children and make them stand aside. But as eager as they were, they would climb a bench or the wall to peep into the basket. They did not even bother to brush their teeth before having those bread bangers because it seemed an unnecessary effort for them to pluck mango leaves from the branches to use them for brushing the teeth. They considered brushing unnecessary because the hot tea could effortlessly wash their mouth, and they thought that animals like the tiger never brushed their teeth. Now, meaning of feast: a large meal, typically a celebratory one. Bolinas, another name for coconut cookies. Bread is an important part of the Goan culture, and it is evident from its presence at every important occasion. From sweetbreads at marriages to sandwiches at engagement parties, and cakes and coconut cookies at Christmas as well as other occasions, make the presence of a baker in every village very essential. Bakers were known to have worn unique knee-length frock dresses typically known as kabai. In the narrator's childhood days, he had seen them wearing shirts and pants whose length was shorter than the usual ones. It was a part of their identity, so much so that even if someone wears that trouser length now, he is said to have dressed like a baker or pedder, as was said in the olden times. The baker had a way of making a monthly record of bills on a wall, using a pencil and then collecting the money at the end of the month. Baking has always been a profitable profession. The baker's family and workers have always been happy and joyous. The baker was usually fat, which was proof that he had a lot to eat and hence was proof of his richness. Even to this day, someone with a well built body is compared to a baker. So, this is all about the chapter. Thank you very much for listening me.